I will call the meeting of the Stephenson County Finance Committee to order circa Friday, February 13th. And I will ask to see if anybody else wants to pray to open our meeting. I'll take it. Lord God Almighty, thank you for offering us the opportunity to serve the people of this county on this finance committee. I pray you help us get through the things we need to get through, understand the things we need to understand, to communicate and collaborate as we need to on things, and do the best we can for the folks of this county, how we spend their money. So we thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda for today.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion and a second. That's it. And any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Meeting minutes for January 12th, 2026 meeting.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of claims. I have claims in the amount of, I'm gonna just roll these together. We've got claims for zoning. Well, for the finance committee is 554,334.77 cash requirements, 489,341.48 manuals, for a total of $1,043,676.25. Yeah, I suppose we should separate. We got them separate. Yeah. Okay. So what's your pleasure on?
So moved.
I got a motion to approve. Second. Any discussion on the claims? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So approval of claims for committee 10 or the zoning committee, an amount of $1,764.66. I have a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. So I have public comments. Seeing none. Reports to committee, Madam McWright, you have the floor.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy way before Valentine's Day to my favorite clients. My clients are like my children. I have no favorites. They're all, just kidding, just kidding. Good morning. I am here to talk about the property casualty work comp and group health. Giving you an update on a few things. I assume you have the presentation in front of you that I sent earlier. So I will flip through that. I want to go through the coverage real quick, talk about claims and the Public Employees Disability Act on the KC side. Again, we insure a lot of stuff, as you know, buildings, contents, and equipment. There are property appraisals going on right now. Every so often, I think 3-4 years, the carrier sends out property appraisals to make sure that the replacement costs are up to date and adequate for coverages. Generally speaking, we do see that those appraisals result in somewhat significant increases in replacement costs for property coverages. So be aware, once we get that out, I will let you guys know what that is. As you know, in the world today, the replacement costs have increased in terms of inflation and labor and materials. So that will probably be reflected in these appraisals. Any questions on that? Real quick, I go through this every time. I'm going to skip through this pretty quickly and just highlight one thing. So we have liability coverages, public officials, general liability, employment practices, and law enforcement liability. We do have a $10 million umbrella over our liability coverages. Work comp, we have unlimited coverage, as you know. I highlighted that $50,000 deductible on the work comp for a reason. I will get to that in a moment. We also cover a whole bunch of autos, over 100 units. Any questions on any of that? Okay, next page. This is just kind of a regurgitation of the last time we met. You can see the premium history there. We have gone down significantly in the last several years, which is good news. That is the work we've done in terms of reducing work comp costs, claims, the work that ICRT does, the loss control rep Mark Bell does a great job with all of the department heads to remind them of safety. So we're really proud of that. Nothing really of note there. Down below are the insured values. You can see those have kind of creeped up for inflation over the years. With this property appraisal, I suspect those numbers will increase more than inflation. Any questions? You can skip this P&C work comp claims. ICRMT went through an update on their reporting and claims tracking system. We were unable to pull updated claims, so you can ignore that. I do know of a property claim out at the health department that's pretty small, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. There might be a small work comp claim out there since the last time we talked, but nothing other than that, or nothing significant to report on that in that regard. Next page, PETA, the Public Employee Disability Act. I wanted to make you guys aware that there is a law or an act or a statute in the state of Illinois that requires employers of police officers, law enforcement officers, firefighters that get hurt on the job for work comp. Typically, work comp coverage is when a claim comes through, they pay for all medical, and then lost time is paid at 66% of your salary. That is how it generally works. With the exception of firefighters and law enforcement, there's an Illinois state statute that says you have to pay them 100% while they're off getting better. So just a heads up there. We had one claim that happened with. So if you go to the next page, ICRMT offers additional coverage on the work comp to cover the remaining 33.3% of payroll in the event someone is off, to the tune of an additional $9,000 in premium. However, we have a $50,000 deductible on the work comp, so I would not recommend we add this endorsement to the work comp, but I wanted to talk to you about it and let you know and make you aware of it. Any questions on that? Pretty. No, good. So, if we want to revisit that at renewal, we can. We'll certainly get an updated quote for that, but as long as we keep the $50,000 deductible to work comp claims, there is really no need for this additional coverage. Moving on to benefits. Couple of things that are going on in the benefits world. We use a system called EASE for online open enrollment. This system or this company got bought out by Employee Navigator 2 years ago. There has been a migration that has gone super slow over the last couple years. They keep pushing out the migration date or the drop dead date when EASE is turning off and Employee Navigator is turning on. This will eventually affect the county where we have to migrate everything on the EASE online open enrollment platform to Employee Navigator. I don't know when that's going to be. Might be the end of this year, might be into 2028, or 2027 into 2028. Don't know the additional cost or the implementation timeline. Cost will be minor. Right now, the EASE system is free to the county. Employee Navigator, I have heard, has some nominal costs, $100 a month, $50 a month, something like that. I will keep the board updated on that once I just a heads up. The Employee Navigator system is more robust, lots of bells and whistles that can be used for the county, but again, not sure on the timeline there. I'm going to go through the plans just to review with you, remind you, talk about claims, and then talk about RX Mapper and update with that. Next page, you can see the plan migration from 24 to 26. Just a reminder that a couple of things, 2025, the $1,500 deductible plan was no longer offered by Blue Cross Blue Shield, and we had to go to an $1,800 plan. That was mandatory. We had no other choices in that. It was 2025. 2026, the $2,500 deductible plan was not offered and it went to $2,750. You can see the number of employees in each plan has changed somewhat. I am most proud of the $3,500 HSA deductible, 12 employees in 2025. That has jumped up to 25 employees in 2026. Those are things that we like to see. We like to see employees moving to higher deductible. Any questions on that?
It's good.
Next page, 2025 claims. This is a full year effect of 2025. No surprise there. The county paid approximately 4.4 million in change in premiums. Total claims paid out was about 4.6 million. The graph below is probably a better visual of how claims come in. Again, we are running in the red. So just a reminder that, hey, insurance is working here. I say only have to pay 4.4 million in premiums. If we were self-insured or on different plans, we would have had to pay 4.6 million. Again, we always track this number to try to get a feel for what the renewal will come in at. I have no feel for that right now, but based on 2025 numbers, we can expect an increase on the renewal because it's running at a loss right here.
Okay. Can I take you back one step?
Sure.
It's back to the benefits plan.
Yeah.
We had 20 employees less on all the plans this year than last. What's the cost of that?
Nursing centers. Nursing centers. Employees.
Keen sense of the obvious. Sorry.
No worries.
Sorry. I was gonna say there's less employees this year than last year, so that's a little bit better. Let's see, the bottom there, you can see, let's flip to the next page. Sorry, the bottom, I make a note, hey, of the total 4.6 million in claims, high cost claimants are 2.3. That's an issue that I will talk about here in a moment. Next page. Next page just gives a high cost prescription claims. Prescriptions drive about 780,000 of the high cost claimants. These brand names you may be familiar with. I have a slide that I present to a lot of groups that I stole from someone that says you are one Super Bowl commercial away from huge pharmacy claims. And if you recall, if you watch TV at all, you will recognize a lot of these pharmacy names. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that, cutting edge pharmacy is great. It helps people tremendously, but it is super, super expensive. I can comment that Skyrizi is this is an order, you could say Jaypirca, Humira. Most of these are autoimmune. Again, lots of advances in the autoimmune space, but it is expensive. That we have implemented RX Mapper to hopefully help that, and I'll talk about that.
Specialty claimants, to have 10 employees utilize these drugs? What is that, specialty claimants?
Where are you?
Right hand side of that.
Yes. The next page is just a graphic view of the previous page. And you can see 2025 saw a big jump, significant jump over 2024 in specialty drugs, which is not the best trend we want. I'll flip to the RX Mapper. So given what I've showed you on the pharmacy side, we really hope that RX Mapper will be able to help move the needle on the pharmacy claims. So the whole point of RX Mapper was to do DNA sequencing for folks that are on specialty drugs, those who qualify for the sequencing, or for the sequencing. You know, the ROI, again, you all approved to spend around up to $13,000 on for 10 employees to take advantage of RX Mapper. And the ROI there was spending $13,000 to offset almost over 200,000 in claims. So we really hope to see that in this year and into next. And I can say that, so far, 5 individuals are currently enrolled and participating in the program. That means they did the swab, or they met with the clinicians over the phone. Clinician did determine that that person was a good candidate. They got the DNA kit, sent the swab in, and they're getting sequenced. There's another one scheduled for a screening call later this week, and then there was one that did not qualify. So that's great, and that is only in the month of January. So again, you guys approved up to 10. We're already at 5, maybe 6, just in the month of January. So I'm very, very excited about it. So we'll see what the results are. Hopefully, you know, and again, I'll remind you, you approved up to 10. That doesn't mean you have to spend all that money. You will only spend for the folks that get the sequencing. If we go over 10, then I would have to go to the board to get approval to get that 11th, 12th, 13th person. Any questions on that?
What if we do this? You done, you lay at 5, so where is?
So the marketing started, I believe, early January or late December. We sent out, Diamond Brothers sent out heads up marketing. We did talk to the department head saying, hey, this is coming, you know, tell your employees. RX Mapper has sent out email blasts almost weekly since then. So RX Mappers, we kind of handed it off to RX. We introduced the concept. We talked to the department heads. We tried to get the word out. I've sent emails out as well. Now RX Mapper has a drip campaign going out to every single employee every.
We also talked about it at the department head meeting this month, which is
It's possible to put a message on pay stub.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe try to utilize also if we can.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. So I am on the RX Mapper page. There's a highlight there. On the bottom, the January invoice was just sent to Georgia for approval. And you can see everything is lagging. So there's only 2 people on that invoice that got sequenced. There's 3 more people that will be billed in February. The really only sunk cost is the per employee per month membership fee of $2. You know, if nobody participated in the plan, let's say, we would be out $2 per employee per month. And then as people do get sequenced, it's about, it's $300, $400, $600 for each employee. But again, we have that baked into the outlet. So we'll just get billed as it. Any questions? I'm really excited about it. Just Scott's point, the more people that participate that are approved and screened into that box yard. So hopefully we can move the needle on that.
Let's say 10 people do get enrolled. What's our cost on those 10 people next year?
I would assume the same. They don't get sequenced unless they could take a new drug, they get sequenced again. I will ask that question and get back to you. I would assume it's the same.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna move back to PNC.
Sure.
You know, that, so as you're doing these audits, and I know it's early in the year. Have you seen any, I guess, what rating increases are at this point in 26, or at least the 4th quarter of 25 during these audits, just as a percentage?
You mean the appraisals?
Well, we've increased in premium.
Premium?
Obviously, the cost of the buildings, replacement, things like that are going up. So I just, I'm curious if you're saying a 10%, 15%.
ICRMD does a really nice job of keeping costs low. They are better than most carriers, I will tell you, firsthand knowledge. I don't wanna give you a number.
Just curious what's being.
Your property coverage is, your property premium will go up slightly because your appraisal are gonna be. I think it would be single digits. I think the property values could go up 10-ish, maybe in the teens %. But ICRT does a really nice job of keeping property premium low. So it'd be offset. Your work comp is a great story that has really gone down a lot. The only other issues are liability, and those have gone down a lot too. I think there's been a really good, the departments that are engaged with Mark Bell and the safety team really do a nice job at keeping things good and keeping it good safe. The things that we can't control, broken pipes or weather related things, that's going to happen. I'm not worried about anything else with it. Work comp is doing very well. I should probably say this. I don't have any other concerns in any other lines of coverage. Property will be going up because of the appraisal because you're due. Other than that, I don't have it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, somebody else wants to go. I don't have this off the top of your head, but I'd be real curious. Dollar percentage increase year over year for health insurance claims, and we're 4.6 for 25, just 24, 23, 20.
Yes, I can get you that. Yes, I will do that. Yes, I meant to put that in this and I did not.
Positive has where's their perspective is.
If you recall back in 2020 or 2021, we moved from the state plan to Blue Cross Blue Shield for a savings of $2 million, which was huge. We have kind of eaten into that now by this time. I think it's been 4 years. I will give you a history on that.
Blue Cross Blue Shield just say, we're never going to get our money back no matter how high we increase the premium.
I don't know. I don't see that happening. I just see them increasing it from teens to 22% every year. I really do. That's why I have this conversation with a lot of my employers. What you can do on the inside 4 walls helps you on the outside. When you can control your health plan, you will control your costs tremendously. Blue Cross Blue Shield has zero incentive to help with anything. They just, if it's $1 million drug, they'll pay it and they'll charge you for it next year. That's how it goes. Which is neither good nor bad. Again, the reason you pay for insurance is to insulate yourself. These are costs that you have to have. Every 5 years, generally speaking, your group is going to have a really bad year. So within those 4 years, you're paying for it. So that's why we put in RX Mapper. That's why we're doing the wellness. That's why there's a lot of other things we can do. That's why we're trying to increase the deductibles, not to punish employees by any means, but to get them engaged and educated on their health care spend, being good healthcare consumers. Just like you shop for a car or a microwave or a refrigerator, you should shop for medical services, MRIs, CAT scans. And the way the medical systems work, they make it really convenient for you to get an MRI and just go right down the street or right down the hall in that network to get an MRI. Whereas if you went down the street, literally, the MRI cost is half. So if there are higher deductibles for employees, again, not to punish them, but to make them, oh, well, this is my money. People forget about it. I was guilty of it for a long time too. It's a mindset change. It's an education. It's an engagement. And that's what we're trying to work on. To the constraints that we have, we're working on that. You can see kind of the progression of the deductibles. I think before we had 0 deductibles. Way past, so we're getting that, but it's a long road. It's a long.
Last thing, you've done a great job of giving us tools to try to get out
Thank you.
beyond the deductible, which seems like a no-brainer. Is there anything else out there that we haven't utilized that you can think of? And if there's nothing now, if you can, I guess, just go back to the drawing board and see what else is out there.
What we try to do is send out employee communications and campaigns, educating them on the tools that they can use. There are tools in the Blue Cross Blue Shield app. We really try to harp on folks when we do online enrollments and when Terry and I are here on site talking to employees. Hey, download the app, look at the costs. Download the GoodRx app, look at the cost between Walgreens, CVS, Walmart's, and Meijer. Use the tools that you're given. There's a lot of online tools to do. We try to educate them and keep them informed. It's kind of the whole bring the horse to water, can't make him drink.
It's your way to track app usage.
I was just thinking that, I'll find out.
Thank you.
Chair, question. This probably isn't a question, but at the auto insurance, we're insuring 108 units at $5.6 million. This has been brought up before. Do we need to do a, check and see if we're all 108 of these units are still in service? At one point in time, I had heard that there were units that were being insured that were no longer even owned by the county. So I don't know who would do that.
I would say the last couple of years, we've really, between the asset listings and the renewals, I'd say we've really railed that in.
So you're correct, it's 108. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So along with that, you're tracking the titles, right? So we should know. We have 108 titles, we have 108 vehicles.
Okay.
That's a lot of titles.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we should know. Now, my question, do we know? But apparently George is also good.
Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Madam Administrator, you have the floor.
All right, update, which we'll talk about more later with past due vendors and settlement offers with the nursing home, continuing to work on those. I had a conference call with a new shredding service company. It's gonna be a couple months till we actually transition over to that company. They need to send pictures of the two different types of receptacles they use to determine what's needed in each department for their pickups. So we have a follow-up at the end of this one, hopefully by the next month. Still be on site. Greater Freeport Partnership meeting was on the 28th of January. New board president and 2 new members were appointed. The annual dinner was on the 5th with the awards. It was a nice event. Our next meeting there is on the 25th. In court on the 11th, there was another continuance in the nursing home case to March 4th at 1:30. There's been an uptick in FOIAs lately. Last week I received 9. In talking with the county clerk and a few others, there's a group that is FOIAing neighboring counties as well. So most of the ones I got, most of the neighboring counties received as well. It was overtime report, contracts, board executed documents. There was an array, a lot of payroll stuff. January 30th was a ribbon cutting for the new line at Stephenson called Lena. The governor was there and they're rolling out a new product line to make little 3 bites. We're the only place in Northern US that will be producing it. It's a new line. So health screenings, I met with Empower Health. Those health screenings will take place April 2nd and April 9th. We narrowed it down to 2 locations as opposed to 3, trying to hit our minimums at each location. With the insurance coverage, they're going to cost the county a few dollars more per participant for the full panel that the employees are used to seeing. Once that's approved at the board next week, then the information flyers and things will start being distributed. I met with Mark Bell on the 4th, and he'll be coming to our April department head meeting. He was talking about the new platform that you mentioned, origami. But it'll be easier for us to access more detailed information about the claims that we're seeing. So he was very excited about it. And we talked about the open claims that they still have. And he'll be presenting more of that information to the department heads in April. And then just kind of piggybacking on what Ms. McGrath said, on Tuesday is when our appraisals were done on site. So.
Any questions? All right, hearing none, that's directed, Laura.
So just to touch on the revenue and expense report, it's just through January, so we're just getting started. You can see in nursing center, a lot of vendors have been paid, so the percentage used is quite large. And then I did want to mention in Fund 22 and 25, there were grant dollars that came in, so that kind of looks slightly inflated for January. Did anyone else have any questions on this report specifically? Okay. So moving into the audit update, the auditors were on site on February 4th. The goals basically during this time were to conduct fraud interviews and review the internal processes of accounts payable, cash receipting, payroll, and any corrections to the general ledger. So we did that, and most departments were very responsive, uploading documents to the SureLink portal before the auditors were on site. I can tell who's actually accessed the site and who hasn't. The nursing center did access the site, but nothing was uploaded. So we do not have any information currently on requests made to the nursing center. Yeah, so that's unfortunate, but we did get the final fieldwork requests this week. The circuit clerk and kind of a county-wide, which encompasses the treasurer's office and our office, are the ones that do the majority of that work. So they are going to be back on April 27th. So we have a few months or a couple months to upload that information, but that's the update as it stands.
Any questions? Thank you, Pam. Treasurer's reports, hopefully everybody got a copy of that. There's a link in the online. I'm not going to go through it. I think she usually gives a good synopsis of things, but we still have money, so that's good. So, any other thoughts on that? Hearing none, moving on. Approval of payment prioritization of outstanding vendor claims for the nursing center. And just is she the one driving that? Or
She is kind of the one driving that and speaking to vendors. So she'll probably have to come.
She's just right outside the door. Maybe you can come back to it.
So approval of settlement agreement with McKeeson Corporation. She got that one too?
Yeah, I'd love to come back to that. Oh, here she comes.
So that's all we got is those two items.
Yep.
My apologies.
So the approval of payment prioritization of outstanding vendor claims for the nursing center.
Yes, kind of an updated spreadsheet was attached. Since sending that out, I did get a settlement offer last night from Fox Tire, which, let's see, they were I think the third green one. They did make a settlement offer of $15,288. They were in my pay next category anyway, but just kind of wanted to update there. And see if my line of thinking is in line with what your guys' directive was. The ones that, I mean, I've got notes in most of them, but if you have any questions about any of them.
So all the greenies are going next
until, I do want to keep
until
a
Adrian
cushion.
runs out of money.
Well, and we do need to keep a cushion in there. We're reserving the money for the civil money penalty because we don't know what that will come back at, so we're not comfortable going below what full. We've also had, a few employee payouts that now that the sale is not taking place, vacation time, things that were owed to them when it would have rolled onto the other payroll that were gonna be worked out through the sale. We've had to now come back and pay, it was under 8,000 total for the two, but I don't wanna not have funds available for that as well, so, that is kind of the plan. Still going with the ones that are making settlements prioritized and then working down, and then the local vendors, so.
Were you able to figure out how much is left?
I did get a message from the treasurer. She said a rough number was about 49,000, but without her coming in and double checking the account, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions on that? Thoughts, comments?
I guess I'm sorry.
Do you need us to do anything? Because there's an approval statement on the agenda.
I think as long as we're in approval of this document,
Still needs to
yeah, approve,
the action.
yeah,
Gotcha.
approve it.
So I would entertain a motion to approve the spreadsheet as presented.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
If I could just notate,
Yes.
the payment that was made to Country Inn and Suites was made from the money that Mr. Perez has been reimbursing us, so.
That's-
So, just wanted to notate that, that's why it's the two different colors, so,
This is on something good.
Do on what, 15?
yes. Yeah, because through our financial stuff, where we have to pay the invoice, we have to hold the dollars until we can pay a complete invoice, so. I just wanted to let you know that for clarification.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approval of settlement agreement with Keystone Corporation.
So that is the payment amount that you see notated on what was just approved. They sent the formal agreement that needs board approval. Otherwise, I would have been able to probably pay it through the prior authorization, but that is what they are offering for further settlements, so that's why it's savings.
And Carl's looked at this.
Yes, Carl has seen it.
All right.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. So as far as the chair reports, I don't really have anything specific. I think things are rolling along pretty good. As Dale mentioned, we did in fact sell our house recently and closing on the 23rd, but we're doing a rent back because we're struggling to find the right place to go to over in Rockford land area. So you probably haven't heard that.
I thought everybody knew.
So I took a different job about, almost in June of last year, and I didn't think it would change anything necessarily off the bat, but it's got me going into the Chicagoland area at least 3 or 4 days a week. And over here, that's an extra 45 minutes. I look at it from that interchange between 20 and 90 when I get off there and what it takes to get. And we just talked a lot about it and looked at the different scenarios and ways that we can play it out. It just makes a lot more sense for us to be there. Because this company that I'm with now, I'm probably going to finish with, which is another 7 years. I'm figuring, give or take, I feel a couple more. So it just works better for a family situation to be located over there. We go over there every other week because my wife likes Meyer for shopping. You know that. Right? The gals probably get that. She got used to that over in Rockford and we were in Michigan. And so we go over there every other week as it is.
Girls, I go over there too.
Costco.
So buy groceries.
Yeah, we got that. My mom's situation is solidified a little bit. She's still at home and everything, but you know, my brother's here. She's got sisters that are here, things like that. So it's not as pertinent that we be physically here all the time. And so it just That's what we discussed and got open the door, and there's a ministry opportunity I'm real excited about in the Chicagoland area that I'm working with now too. And so it's, yeah, a lot of stuff takes me that direction. So there's just not time for everything. Scott, I'd love to continue. And, it's been a joy being part of this, except for one thing, which you all know. It's been a struggle, but other than that, it's been fun working with all of y'all. So I'm gonna be here next month yet. I committed to, Scott when all this went down, that I'll, because of the rent back and the way timing works. I can't really make it into April, because we would be gone by now. So, but March, we're ready to go, shouldn't be moving physically until probably later part of March of the next patients.
You were instrumental in the whole nursing home thing. Appreciate all the work you did.
Well, I think that was a God thing, man. I went through all that stuff with my wife's grandparents and learned a ton about that. And so I was kind of prepared for it on that side of things. And I'll probably make a statement if the chairman allows me before I part company with the board in March. As I don't understand the way people look at that from the other side, that you just, because they want to have control, it doesn't make any sense to me. That business at this point, it just makes no sense to have the county involved in it. It just doesn't, 30 years ago, yeah, maybe that was different. But, really, I'm hoping that the public gets that at some point, because I think they're gonna be lied to a lot. And they're gonna be told, oh, we need to hang on to it because it's ours, all this crap that you see on these signs. It makes no sense. You gotta understand the business that you're in, and it's changed, over the last 3 years. It's not something, you gotta really know what the heck you're doing. And what people changing on these committees every 2 years makes no sense for us to be part of that. So I'm not telling you anything. But anyway, that would be anything from administration. Larry's not here. Anybody else on that?
Zach just talked about, we had action items of approving a walking program through Empower Health to run parallel to our wellness screenings. And that was, I forgot to talk about it in the report, which is what I went out to talk to Ms. McBride about. She looked it over. She thought it was a good idea to get everybody moving. And we're going to run that in April. So that'll be before you at the board, along with the biometric wellness screenings.
Nursing center. 78.
Anything else on nursing? 78 census, a new assistant nursing director or assistant for director of nursing was hired on. A new business office manager was also added to the team, and everything is good and moving and moving forward.
Okay, public property and safety.
Just three things that we brought before the committee for memorandum of agreement for, police for civilian police, for law police, for contract, correction contract. One is, stating about the employee will not receive seniority while off work, paid for, and nothing like that. Got to, the union agreed to it, so, and no choice. The correction for Aaron Court, who was mistakenly placed on the list due to incorrect number of service and year calculated, ERT receiving time and a half, comp time for training. That's pretty much disclosing freedom of fraternity order of police. It's a new union for the sheriff office, which must be stated. So.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Court services.
Everything's moving along nicely.
Good. All in the know. All right. Planning development.
Planning and development, but we did not. It was canceled due to not having the quorum. No. And then two other people were sitting there. So there will be special use dwelling permits coming to the full board. And we just did the 5 year, the place.
All right. Public works.
Well, it got a little chilly out at the highway department during that cold snap. It got down to 61 degrees because a couple of heaters quit. So, we just approved last evening a RFP for HVAC new units being put in the roof. So we'll see where that goes. They've been doing some brush work and preparation on Orangeville Road because that's going to be resurfaced this summer, so. And otherwise, it's pretty quiet at the highway department. So animal control is working on moving, relocating from the animal hospital over to their new building, so. Yeah, things are moving along.
Cool. Yeah, that's gonna be so nice. And that's
That was much better.
getting in and out of that place too is all. Most days, I know, right there, it sounds good. Okay. Chairman, anything to add? Oh, all right. Mr. Bush?
Okay, so move.
I have a motion to adjourn. I have a second. I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Snyder, how are you, sir?
How are you?
Doing well.
Good.
Better than I deserve.
Well, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You still working out?